And now the national anthem of Great Britain.
Great Britain.
Well, as you know, Teresa, one of those moments that really does make players feel that they are carrying the weight of their whole country on their shoulders when the national anthems play. Just before we talk about the game anymore, we're going to get a look at the third team on the floor, the three officials. Just about to see the ball. And here they are. Maja Forsberg from Denmark, Amy Bonner from the United States of America, and Andrei Sharapov from Belarus. So, three of the best in the competition so far. Looking after this game. This is the last game here in Riga, and what a great host Latvians have been. Unfortunate that they lose to Sweden in the last game, but this is an amazing place. You should come. It's absolutely tremendous here in Riga. Here's the roster for Montenegro, Teresa. Three players have been great.
Yeah, and that we have to mention key players, Glory Johnson, Jovanovic, who has really found the rhythm from the three-point shot, and Mujovic. And I think Mujovic is definitely one of the key elements in today's game, because she's such a talented guard, such athletic one, which could cause the GB a little bit problems unless they won't pay attention to her. This is the starting five: Basic, Alexic, Mujovic, Jovanovic, and Johnson. This is the strongest Montenegro has, the most experience the Montenegro has as well. And as I already mentioned, Basic and Mujovic, I really liked her in yesterday's games against Czech Republic. She was just unstoppable, 19 points. She had 9 rebounds as well, and what more, she definitely has been the biggest threat for Montenegro against the Czech Republic. We have the Glory Johnson, another key element. She scored 27 points in that game yesterday against Czech Republic. Another player who has been unstoppable, and I think GB really needs to box her out, because that player, you see 15.3 points average, rebounds, and she does almost everything on the court, defensively and offensively. She leads the fast break. She has no problem with that. Really another key element in this game.
Well, we're going to get a look at the roster for Great Britain. Semi Fakdenle has been unbelievable in every single game, really has put a shift in, and the combination with Samuelson and Joanna Leedham has been significant throughout. So both teams have three key players. I think it's almost the bit part players, the supporting players that could be vital here as GB go with the same lineup they've gone with, except against Spain. And then in terms of, there's no other player for Great Britain to feature before the game, because on the inside she just holds this team together, and she is what she is. One of the best leading big players in the continent of Europe, WNBA champion, MVP in Polkowice in the Polish League last year, and has put on performances in every single game. Mentioned the comparison between the two coaches. Kuckerowicz was only an assistant coach at club last year in her first year out. She's now in her first ever national team job, admittedly with our host country, and she's living on that unknown legend that she is. But a counterpart on the GB team, Chema Bruseta, as I said before, coached Spain in the Barcelona Olympics, has been in Bulgaria coaching national teams, is one of the longest serving coaches at national team level. So you've got great comparisons between every part of this game.
Yeah, I would add to it as well with another comparison is that both teams has played really their key players. They spent loads of minutes on the court in not only in that yesterday's game but also the previous two games. And I think we will see another game where it will be really important to manage the energy and see what the players have left within their bodies, because this is the fourth game in the 5 days. And I think GB is the team who plays way more faster ahead into the fast breaks and stuff. And on the other side, we've seen Montenegro really being in control of the rhythm of that yesterday's game. So I think it will be really important, GB, not to allow them take control of today's game.
Well, players and officials shaking hands. Welcome back to the Riga Arena for the last time in this competition. Great Britain in the white, Montenegro in the red. Wherever you're joining us from, whether it be Podgorica, London, Edinburgh, Nice in Montenegro, or whether you are anywhere in the world watching this one, this has the markings of a hell of a tussle. And we're underway. And Great Britain will have the first possession. Joanna Leedham, guarded by Mucic, which is an interesting matchup. And Mucic just, as you saw clearly, was a blocking foul. And Montenegro don't normally pick up a lot of fouls, but a good penetration by Joanna Leedham gets a positive stat on the board for Great Britain, first time up. Bentley on the ring misses what should have been for her. Pretty easy look, but that won't worry her. Leedham will advance it and create a little passing angle, and they'll get a 14-second reset. Passage on Leedham's an interesting matchup too. And the person who's got the tough one for me for Montenegro is that Jovic has got Carly Samuelson. Randevall is short with the three. Bentley's on the glass. Jovanovic was a little smarter and waited for it. And Montenegro won't be too disappointed if Rachel van der Waal takes more shots than Carly Samuelson and Joe Leedham. So defensive strategically, Samuelson comes and shows the double team really quickly. Jovic doesn't get the three to drop, wasn't a lot of rhythm.
Yeah, and I think this is the way for GB's defense to not allow Mujovic to penetrate into the basket because she's such athletic, and yeah, test her on the long distance shots. Let her shoot and see if she's going to be in a rhythm or not before she's going to start that strong penetration.
Rachel van der Waal gets Great Britain into the half court. Samuelson will take the ball screen from Handy, or doesn't. Handy pops. Bentley. And a 24-second violation. And you'd expect both teams by this stage of the competition to know more than enough about each other.
Yeah, absolutely. But we also know how important this game is, and I think none of the team will want to really commit to too many turnovers, and we will probably see a protection of the ball quite a lot in this game. Johnson
going baseline, and the help was quick and smart by Samuelson. And obviously, you can see the GB strategy there of pulsing baseline with early help. As long as everybody's active on the rotation, they'll be fine if that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, that's been second defensive possession with exactly the same strategy. So you're absolutely right, Mark. And to be honest, it must be because Glory Johnson is such athletic center.
Leedham steps through in the lane, kicks it to Bentley with a foul line jump shot, which is good. Chantel Handy went with the through the legs pass on the play on the pass before. I don't think Jovanovic is going to like that at all. See if we get a reaction. Alexic outside. Johnson tries to slip, gets inside position. Bentley forces up, a little out the back. Jovanovic with the three is long. Into Joanna Leedham's hands, and Samuelson takes it and knocks it down for two in transition. And as we said before, she just knows how to score.
Yeah, and we've seen this from Carly Samuelson doing it quite consistently throughout the whole tournament, that she really do go into the defender and challenge them with that stop jump shot.
Jovic with that real big penetration. Job defensively by Bentley there after that switch. Leedham pushes, and Pasic acknowledges the foul, and the referee just doesn't get it. But Samuelson says, I don't want the foul, I want the three. She knocks down the three, 7-0 start. If Passage is acknowledging the foul, though, isn't she intentionally fouling?
Yeah, it was
It's just
almost
a question. It's just a question.
It was almost like in a school when the player raised their hand, like, "Hey, how about me?" But I think officials have decided to keep that advantage in this case. But that definitely worked for GB to hit that three.
But that's why the referee in those situations will want to let the game go. And it's always a fine line for coaches, because in some ways the coach wants to foul because that will give the opposing team a problem in either foul trouble or shooting fouls as the game develops. But no one wants the game decided by free throws. We don't, because we'd like to leave the gym at some point. But it is a dilemma, because players will then foul more if they don't make the call. So it's always a fine line, and it's a really tough job as an official. But the instructions are at the moment, if it didn't stop Jolene, let her play. And then she finds Samuelson wide open, and Samuelson has 5 and looks in very good rhythm. There's the between the legs pass by Chantel Handy, which then resulted in the foul line jump shot by Fat Bentley.
Yeah, definitely better start from GB than from Montenegro. I'm kind of missing a little bit aggressivity defensively. It's kind of like the game, okay, we don't want to make a mistake, but we don't want to commit too many personal fouls either.
Jovanovic, who yesterday really got some rhythm going from the perimeter. Horn set for Montenegro. Alexic comes high. Got the mismatch now. They've rotated. They're going to skip it. GB scramble and scramble really effectively. Alexic puts it on the floor. Bentley contests it. The ball hit nothing. So it will be a 24 violation.
Yeah, that's been great defensive rotation from GB team to contest and go into the closeout after the skip pass, and still pushing Montenegro into this shot clock violation.
Van der Waal at the point. Will enter, but Handy mishandles. And Murovic is dangerous in transition. Got such extension on that penetration. Alexic turns down the quick option. They're going to go pick and roll. Hands by Samuelson. Van der Waal helps, and GB scramble again. Second move is good for Jovanovic, and she was so composed on that one.
Yeah, this is what Montenegro is good at, or at least the last game they were. It was the discipline, and it was execution and smart plays. Because right now, Alexic wanted to create that mismatch. Well, Fek Benley, little jump shot for 2 is good. And if you were looking at the play all the way through, she didn't want it early. She wanted the penetration because Johnson was hugging, and then caused the rotation. Fek Benley's almost orchestrating from the post at the moment. Jovanovic looks inside, steals it, gets it back. Jovanovic for 3 is off. Leadham will pull it in. Well, it's an ambitious pass. Turnover, Great Britain, 3-on-2 break. Van der Waal gets back. Jovic for the easy 2. And you always, and I will always ask players to repay the big for the run, but you've got to be smart. Leadham lets the 3 go. That's short. Bentley comes up with it. Handy lines up the 3. It's long. And Johnson. This is Montenegro pace though, isn't it? Yeah, this really suits Montenegro to play organized game, really being smart and outplay strategically the opposition. Jovic in the lane for 2. Interesting matchup with her and Samuelson going at it. 9-6. Great Britain lead. Montenegro recovering from that hesitant start. Samuelson takes the long 2 and just fills it up. It's almost like you score on me, I score on you. Well, it's Samuelson with 7. Great Britain's first 11. Jovic, Johnson's going to fire the 3 because she will. It's short. Jovanovic just goes to, they're going to wipe that off. Referee calls the offensive foul on the glass. Handy got hit, I just don't know if it's a foul. Wait for the replay, I'm sure we're going to replay that one. Maybe not. Glory Johnson's going to sit. This is always up as she sits.
Handy's going to step out. Montenegro comes in, and it's not the same lineup for Montenegro when Johnson's off the floor, is it, in terms of defensive presence in particular?
Yeah, absolutely, because Kovacev is just great job for Montenegro off the bench, but she's definitely not even similar athletic-wise as Glory Johnson.
Fagbenle down the lane, unstoppable. Johnson's out the game. Fagbenle just says, that's 2 for me.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she just used, because she knows that Kovacev is way slower on her feet, so she has taken those 2 mid-range shots, and now she attacked. That's perfect.
Letsic, Kovacic on the inside once because she's guarded by a guard. Letsic gets to the far side of the ring, floats it softly for 2. And Montenegro will wait when they have those mismatches and really try to exploit advantage. Samuelson needs a pass, gets a pass from Van der Waal. Fagbenle is just dominant at the moment, needs a pass. Montenegro will reverse it. Samuelson puts it on the floor, and that's Bujovic's second foul. And that's probably one of the biggest stats we've got so far.
Yeah, and I think that's why Corey Samuelson is really good, that she's keep being aggressive into that penetration, because with Božica Mujovic sitting on the bench, the Montenegro is not the same team. If I always said, like, if we in football, we would say how many percent that player spends with the ball in her hand. But what more? She's kind of a motor of the Montenegro. She's that hungry to push the ball ahead a little bit. But right now she's on the bench, and I think GB should take advantage of it.
Jones in the game. Simpson lines up the 3 straight off the bench. Rims in and out. And the foul will be called on Fagbenle. Or is it? No, called defensively. And Kovacic has got a problem, hasn't she, athletically, with Fagbenle?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's definitely a spot GB needs to push the ball to and see what the defense is going to do. And then possibly it's going to be another advantage for other players.
Fagbenle gets an angle and just finishes the play. Goes to 8 personal. And is just dominant at the moment. Absolute dominance on the inside. Samuelson's just hot from the perimeter, those 2. Just far side of the ring, it's a tough move, doesn't get the job. Janovic goes back up after the offensive rebound, and she is what we said right at the beginning of the tournament, just a quality player that just works for her country. Here's Jones, out top. Samuelson flares and was open and got missed. Gets it now, but she's guarded. Needs a pass, Fagbenle in rhythm for 2. Oh! 10 points personal. Temi Fagbenle says she wants to be on a plane.
Yeah, and it's good that GB doesn't force the ball on her. They really do play some action first, and then obviously Fagbenle is the last player after the movement.
Turn over, Jones, and they'll find Samuelson on the end of the break. In traffic goes up and is blocked. And they needed that block, and it's Janovic again who gets back.
Oh.
And Pasic almost passed it to herself. And that's an 8-second call. But the referee's obviously not looking for that one. Penetration again to the foul line, jump shot. Jones drops to the glass and leads the break for Great Britain. Montenegro not really paying any attention on the break, just jogging down the floor. Fagbenle. Jones needs, gets. Fagbenle again, going up. Is fouled on the way through, and there is just absolutely no way, and you call it.
Yeah, people didn't see me, but I think there was no intention to play any ball. Look at that, just holding the arm. Glory Johnson back.
She has to come back. The issue now for Great Britain is that Fagbenle's got the whole 8.5 minutes. Johnson's had some rest on the floor. There's going to be a moment here where Fagbenle will sit, and then she really needs the rotation off that Great Britain bench, and that's where your team rotations are so important.
Yeah, and until this time, Fagbenle has averaged almost 30 minutes per game, so that's definitely not a question that we won't see her that much on the court in today's game. But as you just mentioned, the management of the minutes is such important in this game.
Well, Great Britain unusually miss a free throw. They lead the competition on nearly 94%. Johnson, people on the floor. Johnson with a 3 is short. Kinana comes down with it, needs a pass. Jones wants and gets. In transition, Fagbenle will establish position and gets a touch. Why not? Benley goes up. Well, they're going to give the block. Leadham lines up the three, is short. Monkenana's on the glass. Tremendous work on the glass for Great Britain. Simpson finds Leadham again. It's not working from the three-point line. And she'll take it to the ring. And it'll be on the, it will be two throws anyway because of the team foul situation, but Joe Leadham would have wanted the 2-and-1. And so do you.
Yeah, I think the player has been already in the first step of the layup, but again, that's a decision of the officials. They don't have a replay, we do.
Leadham makes the first of the free throws. And she goes 2 for 2. Great Britain's free throw percentage, a testimony to their own work in terms of becoming a solid free throw shooter. Alexic will get into the offense. Vucetic, who's been very aggressive, and he's aggressive again. Gets to the middle and kicks. Jovanovic step back three is good. And Vucetic's penetration had to be aggressive to draw the defense. Jovanovic didn't have much time, and that's just quality. 7-point advantage. Leadham going to the hoop for two. Easy, no one helped. Great recognition. 4 points personal for Leadham. And 10 seconds to run in this quarter. Alexic, go to Johnson, too easy down the middle. I think they're going to call the foul. And Glory Johnson will pick herself off the floor because no one helped her.
Yeah, that was way highway all the way, and Alexic recognized it really well with that assist. And someone from the weak side needs to be on a split line. You'd rather give up the three-point shots than this easy layup to the rim.
Johnson on the free throw line. This is the first. Great Britain will have, well, someone will have 2.8 seconds to get a shot away.
Yeah, in this case, unless Montenegro is going to play full court pressing, you're probably going to just take the responsibility, whoever is going to receive the ball out of bounds.
And at the end of the first quarter, the Great Britain national team have a 22-14 advantage over Montenegro. Very efficient start by Great Britain, 80% from two-point range. That's all about Benley. 1 from 6 from both teams from the three-point line. One of them will start to make shots. Well, back inside the Riga Arena. And what started, Teresa, started very passively the game, didn't it? You know, apart from a couple of fouls that really were nothing really to write home about, the game was pretty passive. And then all of a sudden, Samuelson got going, and Benley got going, and Great Britain have got the 8-point lead.
Yeah, I think the beginning was quite predictable that it's not going to be anything crazy if we consider how important this game is, and how Montenegro is usually, as a team, really controlling the rhythm of the game, not really rushing their game. It was up to GB really to speed up that intensity and quickness of their game, and I think Samuelson has done an excellent job to be attacking Bosica Mujovic defensively and really make her to commit to those 2 personal fouls this early in the game, because I think Montenegro is not the same team without her on the floor, and I think GB will just have to keep pushing the ball, keep playing smart, and as well it comes to the points of Benley. She's been excellent this first quarter, 11 points. Woodmore, she has been really moving well as well, but the minutes could be an issue, so the question is when she's gonna get those minutes of rest, or if Coach Buscetta is gonna keep her on the court as long as possible. On the other hand, I think Montenegro needs to deliver the ball more to Jovanovic, because she has been great, but she hasn't had as many touches that first quarter.
Well, Montenegro have it. First possession of this quarter two. Vucetic really has had an impact. She really did generate some intensity. Open kick, you got to knock that down. Otherwise, they will continue to double, and it's a nothing but string three and no rotation. Great effort. Pasic gets the steal, Vucetic gets the two, and it's a 5-0 start for Montenegro. And what was 8 is now only 3. Simpson. Lead him. Bentley comes high. Goes to the middle, kicks to Handy, lines up the 3, is short. Alexis pushes and she's got Jovanovic down the floor. Vucetic, who has been the difference maker since coming in. And a back-to-back threes, and we have a tie. 22 apiece. And so much more tempo to Montenegro at the start of this second half. A little physicality stepping into the game. Fekbenley knocks down the 2. .13 personal. Leksic, Vucetic again. Breaks the defense down on the dribble. Jones gets a bit of the ball, comes off Vucecic's tie. Samuelson and Van der Waal coming back. You're a great shooter in your time. Not that long ago, but in your time. Samuelson started 100%. Left the game 4 or 5 minutes ago. Is there a time when you're a shooter like you don't want them to leave you out, do you? You want to get back in.
Absolutely. Once you're on fire, you want to keep shooting, you want to keep receiving the balls.
Handy kicks. Offensive foul.
On the other hand, I have to say that Montenegro really had good possessions in this second quarter, playing smart, using the mismatch advantage, and didn't really force any passes. And that 1-3 we've seen on that corner when the GB defense has been focusing on Glory Johnson under the basket. Really smart play from Montenegro.
Ivanovic with Johnson on no help, easy 2. And the change is very good by Skarabic is to move her to a mid-post, because then you've got to come so early that if she comes too early, there's a wide open perimeter option. Samuelson, and they're all over her now. Why wouldn't they be? Van der Waal, wide open, recognition for Great Britain. This is what you like about teams of that nature. You get the double team, no one panics, they pass it out of the double team and make the easy pass.
Yeah, so far GB as well, a really smart performance, using the strength they have in today's game.
You said it again, just attacks. Johnson lines up the 3 of her own, it's off. Bentley gets the defensive rebound. Van der Waal wants and gets. Handy. Bentley and the Trout will find Leadham, who lines up the 3, is long. And great work by Pasic on the defensive boards. Was almost out of bounds, kept it alive. And now we've got a ball game. Vucetic as Great Britain switch again. Leksic lines up the 3, drops it. It's all a little bit pedestrian-like for Montenegro, but GB are allowing them to play at that pace.
Yeah, absolutely, because if you're not going to contest me, I'm going to just take it. And I know Alexic hasn't had the best tournament, but she has been really consistent in her performance.
Bentley far side of the ring. Again, it's at the minute now it's tied up. It's a little bit trading hoops. Everyone going to what they want. Jovic is going to come back in for Montenegro, which is I think is a good move. Jovanovic, they want to change the angle because Johnson wants it and had it. And Alexis just didn't trust herself with the pass. Little hesitation, fires up a 3. Leadham does an amazing job boxing out. Just, this is my space and you're not having it. Leadham on the floor, will kick. Van der Waal lines up the 3 from the corner and knocks it down. And Great Britain get back into that rhythm where they'll just pass and let it go. But to me, for both teams, because Montenegro are the same, they've got to start playing some defense. Otherwise, it will become an offensive shootout.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the referees have given the Montenegrin bench a warning about, I think, excessive conversations with the officials.
Yeah, I think in these games you are emotionally completely in, and sometimes you don't even realize how much you're involved. And that's why the warning.
Wide open, Vucetic for three. And Montenegro have come out in this second quarter and have demonstrated that you don't have to be able to do so many different things. If you can shoot the ball, you are a factor. Green wants it in the block. In fact, Benley comes high, lead him on the baseline, steps to the middle, finds Samuelson, who looks it off with the head fake. L1, they're gonna score it on the floor.
Okay, great penetration from Samuelson. She has again recognized the defender wide close on her, and she has that aggressivity into the hoop and passage on the personal foul.
Block was after she picked it up though, right? What do you think? I'm genuinely, because to me, I wasn't sure if it was picked up or if it was on the dribble. Green will release. Van der Waal on the ball reversal. Samuelson thinks about the three, takes it, and goes long and gets the drop. That's called a hometown ring. And she goes to the 10 points and 100%.
Yeah, she definitely shoots in the rhythm, and now because GB has been so great using their strengths, they need to really look at that point as well. And it's such danger when you have Fabbenle under the basket and Samuelson outside hitting threes.
Ivanovic misses the two, Leadham flares to the wing, looks at the closeout. Green was and then wasn't open because Johnson did a really good job defensively. Skips to Fagbenle, lines it up from the corner. If that goes in, Green had it, knocked away by Johnson. Will be a 14-second reset for Great Britain.
Green has played yesterday almost 16 minutes, but what a performance, what a contribution she had in that yesterday's game. And I think great call from Coach Bouchetta to put her in the first half on the game and see what she has to offer in today's game.
Vucetic sits down and someone's got to keep picking up that emotional lift that she gave them because she was so aggressive. Fagbenle on the perimeter. Leadham wants, doesn't get, Green gets. Goes to work to the baseline, doesn't get it to drop. Leadham's on the floor recovering it. You've got to put it up. Half of that'll be a 24 violation regardless.
Yeah, but what a hustle again we've seen on the floor from GB team, and that's something I'm pretty sure soon is going to be rewarded either with some extra possessions or some really good attacks.
Jovic. Kozica Mujovic, who has been so impressive so far in this competition. Lexic goes to Jovanovic on the baseline, guarded by Samuelson, goes to the middle. Benley gets a piece of that on the help, and she's just dominant on that inside. Ball reversal, Samuelson goes down to release Leadham, but Mujovic just reads it. It's both ends of the floor, isn't it? Mujovic is just one, she's a player.
Yeah, and that's why I said how important she is for Montenegro, not only offensively but also defensively. And she's definitely one of the players who gives the energy into her teammates.
Samuelson swings the baseline. Leadham comes back, puts it on the floor in the action for two. Just protects it, leans it away from the defender. Great Britain open out a 6-point lead, and Jovanovic and Leadham and Samuelson really going at it in matchups. It's an intriguing game at the moment. Lexic will take the ball screen, they switch it. Johnson dives. And that's unstoppable unless the help comes before she catches.
Yeah, exactly. Rachel Van der Waal was there, but a little bit too late. Oh, look at that.
And Fagbenle, who says she doesn't want to go the whole 40.
And we've seen this already before, that Fagbenle has been running the breaks, and you gotta reward them, and that's what Rachel Van der Waal has just done.
Jovanovic, they recover and scramble. Get back in the game. Mujovic blows the layup. Gets her own rebound, somehow gets it off to a teammate. Kovacic underneath. And that's Jovic is fast becoming one of the most liked players in this competition, because it's not just about ability, is it? It's about what everything else you do, from hard work. Lead them outside with 2:30 to go. And Benley will extend. Van der Waal, Samuelson in the rhythm of the catch, goes up, gets hit, doesn't care, drops the 2. And when Samuelson has that look, she's not missing.
Yeah, but what I like from GB is that they really call that offense for her to get into that position and again carry on with that excellent percentage she has so far.
Jovic will come off the screen. They're going to switch and Johnson's going to roll, but the help is late, and that's just too easy. It's just a too easy rotation, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is what exactly happens when you have Glory Johnson under the hoop and you as a defender come late, because for her it's not just enough to stay there.
Van der Waal with a tough lean away. Green's on the glass. Strong offensive rebound and puts the 2. And ticks it over for Great Britain. At the moment, it's just hoop for hoop. 42 to 36, 1:30 to go in the half. Jovic, and they look so much better when she's on the floor. Johnson outside, feeding the 3, knocks down the 3. Montenegro are unrecognizable from where they were when they first played at the end of last week, right? Because when we watched that game, they looked like they could beat themselves.
Yeah, absolutely, but I don't know if it comes to the point like just testing when there's nothing really in place, but I think Montenegro definitely put everything they could in that yesterday's game against Czech Republic, and it's obviously working. So whatever if it was the tactic to play tournament this way, that was working for Montenegro for sure.
Well, the one thing that Coach Skerovic is not short of is tournament experience as a player, and so she would understand the, the way these things work. But they really couldn't. When that first game, we were sitting there going, "Wow, they've had no preparation. They haven't played anybody." And then they got better. And then against France, they almost said they couldn't win. And then they come out, get that game as you saw yesterday. So they're coming in here with momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have to say, every time I've seen play Montenegro years back and stuff, they always had a high IQ of basketball, and I think that will be witnessing in this tournament as well. Obviously, first 2 games, completely different team, finding them rhythm, giving the minutes to players, not being on the same page. It could be due to that preparation or not, who knows, but when it matters, they really put in place a great technical and tactical performance, and that was in that yesterday's game. And to be honest, I think even in today's game, they play really smart with the high IQ, reading on the floor, trying to control their rhythm and protecting the ball. So I think this is the Montenegro we know.
So Van der Waal will receive it from Leedham out of bounds. 14 on the possession. Benley outside. Puts it on the floor. That's a flop. And the basket is good, and it's 2. They don't want it.
There was something in there, and I think officials need to either give a warning or I don't know why they missed that then. Either way. But what matters is that Rachel Van der Waal really used that play on the floor and attacked the line all the way to the rim, and that definitely good for Britain that they don't really pay attention to the officials. They do focus on their own performance.
That's exactly what you should do. Vucetic back in the game, has been big in this first half. Her impact off the bench has been impressive for Montenegro. Her and Jovic in the backcourt looks the best option. Passage defensively, they've got options here, Montenegro. Johnson outside, puts it on the floor and just goes. Oh, blocked. Like Benley says, this is my house, right?
Yeah. Look at that, major block.
That will probably be on the highlights of the day. Jovic, little handle, takes the long 2, is long with it. In fact, Benley's just everywhere. That's another defensive rebound for Benley. Leedham comes off the screen and catches. Last 20 seconds, got a whistle, an offensive foul called.
Offensive foul number 15, Demi Finley, second personal foul.
McFinley picks up her second foul. She's probably set for the last 19.7.
And these are the minutes she's gonna get rest. When we question when will be the time if she will get some time off in today's game.
Husic, everything's done quickly. Johanovic in the block, has it knocked away, stays with it, throws the soft right-handed hook for two, and she has been impressive. Vanderbilt's got to put it up and doesn't get it away in time.
Ladies and gentlemen, first half game result.
And at half-time, Great Britain have a narrow 44-41 advantage over Montenegro. It's been technical, it's the best way to describe it. Statistically, neither team were shooting the three well, but Montenegro in their second quarter have only missed 1-3. Rebound-wise, it's dominance by Great Britain, but Montenegro haven't been missing the three-point shot in that second quarter. Great Britain have 15 assists at the half. That either means you're not playing defense or they're sharing the ball amazingly well. It's like Benland Samuelson in double digits. Johnson has 10 for Montenegro. It's set up nicely here. There's a plane trip and a quarterfinal in Belgrade that awaits the winner of this one. We'll show you some highlights of that first half. We'll be back in around 10 for the second half.
世界杯就在中国，腾讯体育点燃中国主场。Braucamīte nesteigties, lūdzu mani pagaidīs, jo pie stāviem mums ir daļa no brauciena. Izbaudi arī jaunu koncepta veikalus Circle K. Uzzini vairāk Circle K LV. Helio piedāvā. Spožākās pasaules un Latvijas sporta zvaigznes viena vieta. Piedzīvo tiešraidē emocijas, par kurām visi runās rīt. Skaties mājās vai pa ceļam, jo viss var Jaunā kamerī ar luxury aprīkojumu līmeni iepazīšanās piedāvājums 28,500 eiro. Mēs kustamies. Lai arī ko mēs darītu, mums ir nepieciešams ūdens. Izvēlies dabīgo minerālu ūdeni. Mangaļa, minerāls sāļiem pagāns.
So when I bust my rhyme,
Alvin backhand, hands it off to Bilgic, and the big swap machine comes in. Hatar.
Yaku gets inside, little floater, and if anyone knows how to milk the crowd in this Riga arena, it's Hilaire Deliaku. And they look long. Whoa. Great pass, great transition. This gives Ukraine a chance to cut this to a 4-point game. Oh my word. Oh my word, what a play. Little show time from La Palau.
Villar gets it in, they can't handle it. And Serbia searing hot from centre court.
Well, welcome back inside the Riga Arena. One more half of basketball in the Latvian part of these EuroBasket Women 2019. Then the whole show moves to Belgrade for the quarterfinals. Well, there's actually some playoff games there tomorrow. The equivalent of this game. Two of those take place tomorrow in Belgrade. Check out the schedule. And then on Thursday, 4 quarterfinals. One of these teams will be in that quarterfinal against Hungary. And at this point in time, Teresa, I can't tell you which one it's going to be. Gloria Johnson, 10 points, 4 from 8, it's 50%. I can't understand why she wants to shoot 3 at all.
Yeah, I can't understand why when the GB is switching on her, why she's not really cutting towards to the basket and ask for the ball more, because obviously there must be some more rotation from the GB side to cover her in there after those mismatches created by the simple pick and roll.
Well, great start by Great Britain, saw them lead by 8 at the end of the first quarter, but that disappeared inside the first 20 seconds of the second quarter. They steadied the ship, largely down to Temi Pekbenle and Carly Samuelson at that point. But then you start to get your contributions from Joanna Leadham and Rachel van der Waal, and Great Britain sort of start to get their rhythm back. The great thing for me for Montenegro, Vucicic really did single-handedly turn the pace of them around just by being aggressive. Jovic has only got the 2 fouls after those quick ones, so expect to see a lot more of her, and she's been impressive.
Yeah, I agree, and I would also point out Jovanovic, because anytime she has got touches as well in good position, either if it was from the perimeter or inside, she has been a threat to defense of GB, and I think this second half we will see the team to grab the win who's going to play a better defense, because at the moment we see 44-41. That's such a high score in this game. I know that Montenegro shoots really well, but I think it's still a lot of points in one half, and there is loads of tactical kind of space defensively still to improve and to cover the players. On British side, Pekbenle 17 points. It's going to be interesting to see if she can cope with the minutes in the second half with the same intensity, same rhythm as she's been so far in this game. On the other hand, Gloria Johnson, as you already mentioned, I think she will definitely need to push herself more closer to the rim, more than just settle and play outside. But we've seen her playing that way the whole group phase. So I think I really like the Gloria Johnson with Jovanovic together, because there is always option in and out, and I think that's what the GB would have to sort out if Montenegro is going to focus on that action.
Well, I think you mentioned it while we were off air that defensively someone's got to step up, and neither team is asking too many questions, are they? That's the thing. If one of these teams does ask the question at the right time, that could be the decisive part of the game. I really think GB, if they just do that straight switch and no switch out of the switch, as they say, I don't think that they're going to be able to stop Montenegro getting another 40. So then you're relying on yourselves getting another 44. It's not normally the way that you base your victories. You normally base them on your defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense brings you most of the time offense, and really we see a high-scoring first half, and it will be interesting to see if both of the teams going to adjust defensively to try to cut those points down a little bit in the second half.
Well, it's good to see the Swedish fans standing around to watch the last game here in Riga. They've been a feature of our time here. And why wouldn't they stay around? Because Montenegro were from their group. They've seen Great Britain play a tough game against Spain. They got very into that one. So giving these players some atmosphere as they are 20 minutes away from Belgrade or 20 minutes away from going home. No surprises. Good call, I think, by Skirvich to start Vicetic, Alexic, and obviously Gloria Johnson. And Great Britain go back to their starters. And I think Great Britain need another scorer. If they can lead and can get normal contributions going, they're in a great place. And for Montenegro, well, Johanovic has already brought her game. She just needs more touches of the basketball. So Great Britain will inbound the basketball. And the ball gets it into the half court for Great Britain. In fact, Ben lays the entry pass, puts it on the floor, gets Johnson in the air. In fact, Benley for two. And as soon as Johnson straightened those knees, she'd gone.
Yeah, and this is really important that Temi Fagbenda has hit those mid-range shots, because that gives basically her the space, because Gloria Johnson had to contest that pump fake, and that gave her advantage into penetration.
Alexic gets the switch to try and open out the middle. She penetrates and kicks. Jovic takes the three from the corner. And Leadham is fouled by Jovanovic. And Leadham, again, we mentioned it in the first half, you do not have to be the biggest guy in the world, do you, to rebound?
No, absolutely not. The rebounding is about heart, about how much you fight and how much you want it. And now we've seen that was a big second time she has hold Jovanovic on her back.
Samuelson goes long to Handy. We'll hand it off to Leadham, who just about gets through, stops and scores. All about Joe Leadham being smart, just real smart.
Yeah, because definitely Ivanovic has advantage size-wise and quick-wise, I would say. But that IQ plays a key role.
Gloria Johnson on the dribble still. In fact, Benley recovers and guards her. Johnson goes quick, little step back off one leg. We've seen that before this tournament. Samuelson comes down with a rebound. Nice start to quarter three for Great Britain. Leadham, Fake Benley, feet set for two is short. And Jovanovic with no white shirted player in the keyway. Alexic back to this technical half-court game that Montenegro want to play. Jovic. Johnson outside, puts it on the floor but mishandles. And she's almost trying too hard to create. She sees the mismatch and says, I've got to get this. And beat herself on this. Let's take a look at the replay. There's the mishandle.
Yeah, but what I really like is Rachel on the ball now, two last couple of defensive possessions, because once she was guarding Mujovic and she really stepped back to allow her to shoot that three, which is definitely not her strength. And this time as well, because Gloria Johnson has been on the mid-range, which hasn't been one of those shots she would want to look for. So she stepped back away from her and really forced her into this mistake.
Samuelson backs, puts it on the floor again, gets to the middle, drops it inside to Leadham, going to the baseline side. Well, she did everything except make the score. Mujovic has it and looks to push. Vucetic will not back out of a penetration, puts it on the floor, and Samuelson has to foul. And they've given that as a two-shot foul.
Yeah, that confirms your word, Mark, about Vucetic. Such strong penetration as well. And to be honest, I think her contribution in today's game is really key for Montenegro, because obviously Mujovic has been a little bit struggling considering how good games she had those previous 3-1s. So definitely great effort for Vučetić to attack that middle of the paint.
Sammy just picks up her first foul. Vučetić from the free throw line. And she has, I think, more than any other Montenegrin player, changed the tone of their offense. It's not a quality thing at all. That penetration, she was never going to back out of it. And she goes 1 for 2. And Handy comes down with a positive stat. Van der Waal has it. And puts it on the floor. The keyway opens up and she completes the play. Vučetić was so intent on doing what Coach Skerovic, she didn't even know the ball had gone in. She's an intense player, Vučetić now. Jovic tries to turn the corner, comes back, gets the switch, now look inside. Johanovic wants, but Van der Waal pushes her off the block. Vučetić takes the three, is off. And a chance for Van der Waal to run. McBinley runs the middle of the floor. Handy will go, oh, nice pass. Defense goes to sleep. And Great Britain have a double-digit lead on the back of the assist from Rachel Van der Waal. In fact, Benley again goes baseline to baseline, harder than any other player on the floor.
And again, we've seen that usage of athleticism difference between two players, Benley and Kovačević. Great recognition.
Well, the way Great Britain have built this lead again is that it's that transition that you've been pushing this whole tournament about. If we get the opportunity to run in transition, run. And Johnson's out the game. In fact, Benley gets an easy layup.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you run the transition offense in a good form, there's most of the time that something good is going to come out of it. And obviously, because the GB wings have been quite stretched out, they have opened up the space for this trialer with just fact Benley showed. She has faked that she slows down on the free throw line, and then she went behind the back of Kovačević, who had no chance to stop it. And what I've liked was that Rachel Van der Waal didn't rush it. She really kept an eye on her trialer and waited for her to build up this position for this quick pass.
And the other feature that we've picked up, you know, in most of these games, is that in the second halves of games, teams really don't go very short on their rotations. They really only rotate when they really have to. And you know, in the past, people will talk about sharing minutes, etc., etc. Well, players are in great shape now. Vučetić, who wants to be aggressive. Still no Glory Johnson. Vučetić again gets to the top of the circle, backs out to the three-point line, just exploring, and there was never going to be an option there. Maybe throw it to the wing, change the angle.
Yeah, absolutely, because Popovic had the position, but obviously not from the pass coming from the middle. And this time I think that was the first mistake of Vučetić, what we've seen, and really that little pass to the side would help.
2-3 zone by Montenegro. They're going to spot people up, and they're going to spot Van der Waal up this time on the corner, and drops the three.
Again, another great selfless play from Great Britain. Share the ball. Almost every player except for the big has touched the ball.
Well, you know, you've got to, if you're going to play that zone, you've got to be a little bit active. I mean, you've got to move on the release of the pass, not on the catch. Vučetić again, she's desperately trying to make things happen. Popovic, and they get a piece. Johanovic is so active. Everyone was waiting for the shot. In fact, Benny got a piece of it. And Jovanovic shows her experience, collects it. And we'll find ourselves on the free throw line. A 13-point advantage for Great Britain with 6:05 to go as we get a replay of the three from Van der Waal.
Yeah, I have to come to the question why Jovanovic doesn't have a more ball for Montenegro side, because right now, obviously, when Glory Johnson's sitting on the bench, she is that one, quite flexible, athletic, big for Montenegro, who can play outside as well. And you would wish that they're gonna really try to give her the ball to get Patterson back into the game.
Popovic on the glass comes up with an offensive rebound. And they find passage, then GB go to sleep. And they get another offensive rebound. Great work by Johanovic, and Mujovic is now going to look to run An option to the corner, extra pass. Vucetic just rips and goes to the middle, off one leg for two, gets the drop. All about effort and all about hustle. And they close it to 10. And Vucetic is at the core of that. Van der Waal will move it. Handy gets it to Fagbenle. Has surely. Take a look at this.
Oh, that must be intentional foul. That's absolutely no intention to play a ball.
Well, we saw some great officiating in the last game where they, went and reviewed things, and surely there was a moment there. Handy with a long two, it hits the front of the ring as she just faded away on it. Fagbenle gets a piece, gets another piece, and another piece.
Wow.
And a layup. And wow is the best word.
This is just incredible performance from Temi Fagbenle. She's everywhere. Like, considering that she steals the ball, she goes, take it herself to the break. Wow.
Mujovic, feet set for the three, is good. You cannot go underneath on Mujovic. Other people may be, but not her. Fagbenle will walk it. And Samuelson hasn't really had a shot for a while. He's fouled. And the Montenegro defense in the zone at the moment really just equates to grabbing or reaching on every penetration. So if you're the Great Britain team, you should be very aggressive going to the basket. It's very much like Vucetic down the other end, wanting to be aggressive going the other way.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what GB just done. Attack that middle zone, and that's the space you want to attack because it gives you an opportunity to create on both sides of the offensive court. So great effort from GB for now.
Glory Johnson back in the game. Samuelson down low, underneath. And is fouled, and that'll be the 14th foul for Montenegro.
We see Montenegro going back to man-to-man defense because obviously that zone defense didn't really work for them. That moment of surprise didn't work for them, so we see them back in man-to-man.
Lead him ducks, and he's pushed and falls. And Mujovic will bring. Jovanovic, way off. Van der Waal's after it, Johnson's after it, Johnson gets it. And Samuelson just takes it off her and gives it up. Lead him in transition. That's an unsportsmanlike foul, has to be, because you're putting your hand up holding the player, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and again, there was no intention for the ball. Here we see that great defensive effort for GB, and this is the intentional foul, yeah.
The referees are going to go and review this. So they've got to use the technology if they need to. It's going to be free throws anyway because there's a team foul situation.
I think graphic now shows the right person who has committed that sportsman foul. Melissa Jovanovic, I think it was the Pasic, pardon, yeah.
See, there's the reach on the hip with the ball in the other hand.
It's an unsportsmanlike, right? Non-sportsmanlike, right?
So they stay with the unsportsmanlike foul. So Leedham will shoot two, and Great Britain will have the possession of the basketball.
Yeah, but what positive is for GB at the moment is that really Montenegro is in the foul troubles as a team, and so they really have to keep that aggressivity towards the rim and try to draw more fouls to send them to the free throw line.
Leedham goes 1 for 2, and Great Britain have a 10-point advantage. Handy will reverse the basketball. Samuelson off the down screen. Leedham goes back to the free throw line.
Foul number 5, Joanna Pasic, third personal foul. Substitution team Montenegro with number 16, Vucetic on the board.
Leedham, quicker release, gets the first of the free throws. And Great Britain have the 11-point advantage.
I think Montenegro has on the court like the fives that started the game, but with more, they are also the most experienced ones. So I think now it's time for them to really put everything together and try to attack the GB defense.
Janovic looks inside, Johnson gets it, the help comes late. This is the play. Well, a little bit of afters for Johnson, who threw the elbow, but again, that's a slow motion.
This was the third personal foul for Tamefa Glenless, so quite a good decision from Coach Buscetta to put her back on the bench, because definitely she's going to be needed in the fourth quarter, and you don't want to risk her to commit the fourth foul too early.
Sheridan Green checks in. Oh. Johnson goes 2 for 2. Lead back to a 10-point margin for Great Britain. Van der Waal will advance. Lead him. Looks inside, there's nothing there. We'll go to Green, who skips it. Samuelson off the down screen, feet set for three, it's good. Samuelson still 100%. What an asset. What an asset for any team. Somebody can just catch and shoot the three. It's exactly what Alexic gave the Montenegrins of the lift. Jovic, gotta love her. Just walks Van der Waal down low, gets, and without Fagbenle in there, you're not going to get the block, are you? So great decision by her. Leadham gets to the foul line. The ball's out of bounds and will go to Great Britain. Gym is not full by any means, but there's a tense atmosphere in this gym.
Yeah, I can feel it as well, Mark.
I mean, no, it's everyone's like, because the game has a tempo to it that's technical and to an extent a little slow.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes to what the game is, and the game definitely has a lot to offer.
Leadham finds Green deep. Oh, just knocks it down. And Leadham shows confidence in Green in her first EuroBasket, gives her the shot to take. She takes it and knocks it. Jovic, who's becoming such a factor, foul on Rachel Van der Waal. That'll be the full team foul for Great Britain.
That has been a smart foul from Rachel Van der Waal right now, I think, because Johnson's had way open cut towards the basket. And
well, I'll be very consistent here. If you have a handful of shirt, that is not a basketball action at all.
Yep.
Jovic. Jovic again turns the corner so quickly. If you're going to go underneath, surely you have to be there before she turns the corner. She'll go to the free throw line. She's a handful.
You know, we have to give her credit again with that absolute drive towards to the rim. She just, that's what she's looking for. Yeah, she has hit 1-3, but you know, you go right way under. But as you said, you got to be ready positioning-wise straight away, because she is the player who's not really going to pull up jump stop. She is the one who likes to go all the way through.
Jovic on the free throw line. And she's been so crucial to Montenegro getting to this stage. Super game in the win over the Czech Republic. This will make it an 11-point game. 2:44 to go in the third. And she is solid. Collins in the game for Great Britain as Van der Waal picks up a foul. That's the step out. Only 10 seconds on the possession. No angle to make the pass, was there? That's the problem.
Yeah, there was no one on the wing, because obviously Jo Leadham has been posting up her advantage which he had on her back, but Steph Collins really needs to take 2 extra dribbles to the side to adjust that angle.
That's it. And they want to throw it, and Jovanovic is wide open. If they throw it just towards the ring, she'll make it. Johnson is off for the 3. And there's a foul call on Jovanovic, which is going to be her 3rd, which is a big one. But Samuel's going after boxing. Again, you made the point a number of times. If you box out and do the right thing, good things happen. Samuelson's now got the walk down the floor and shoot the throws moment.
And we've seen on both sides a couple of players in the 3 personal fouls still in this 3rd quarter, but you kind of, it almost is like if the intensity and defensive effort is high since beginning of the game, then you will say, yeah, the player's gonna get into foul troubles. But I don't really see that high tempo, high intensity defensively, knowing that obviously on both sides 2 key players being on the foul troubles personally.
Samuelson just moves herself onto 17 personal, picking up the scoring slack as Greg Benley has to sit with the foul trouble. Leksic on the repositioned screen. They drop it down inside, little fumble. Great way to stay with the players. Kovacic gets the 2. Wasn't pretty, but this is as big as Montenegro go. They went with this lineup yesterday to start the game. So it really does challenge Majovic again, and it's a little predictable and perhaps not the best option. Majovic blows the layup. And Leksic collects the loose ball. Leksic stops, pops the long 2, drops it.
And again, it comes to when you give up the offensive rebound, that's what's going to happen. And it's fun stats to see because Montenegro has the same offensive rebound number, same as defensive, 9-9, which really GB needs to start to box out.
Leedham comes to the top, puts it on the floor. That's going to be a blocking foul, and Leedham will go back to the free throw line. And we've said this before, when things are getting a little bit of a trial for Great Britain, it will always be Joe Leedham that will come and make those types of decisions, draw that type of contact. And if you have to get them from the free throw line, get them from the free throw line.
Yeah, absolutely. She doesn't have to have the best game herself personally, but she still worked her ass off for the GB team. And I think that's why I really like this team from the island, because they do really play so selfless and for one and each other. And it just shows how much determined they are to succeed at this tournament.
Well, opens out to back to 10, Leedham with a chance to make it 11 with pretty much 52 seconds to go in 3. Leksic will advance it. This gives Montenegro the chance to take Majovic away from the point, which means she has opportunities to get it in long closeout situations like now and have a chance to play. Again, puts it down, looks and moves it on. Jovanovic is off, and Samuelson gets another positive stat. And with 30 seconds of the 3rd to go, Great Britain have a chance to open this out a little. A little static at the moment. The pace gets a little more deliberate. That was a turnover waiting to happen. Which goes up for the layup, which is good. And Leedham comes back and says, I'll take it. Pass on the inside of Monkenani. You've got to cut with your hands up, and she didn't. And so at the end of the 3rd quarter, Great Britain have, I'd say, eked it out because they led by 3 at the half. They lead by 9 at the end of the 3rd. Going to get a quick look at the first page of the statistics. And still the 3-point shooting, if you took Carly Samuelson out of that for Great Britain, and one from Rachel Vandervoort, it'll be even more horrendous. It's moved up to 33 though, so it's getting there. So it's tight, 9-point game, 1 quarter to go. Well, trees are inside the Riga Arena. And the last time I'm going to say this, in the beautiful city of Riga. That, and we said it during commentary, it wasn't, the game has no flow, does it? It's a game of a pace. It's a very technical game. Is one of these teams going to pick it up at the defensive end?
That's the question still to the fourth quarter, but I think what I haven't seen from Montenegro's side is to using the advantage that Temi Fagbenda has been sitting on the bench almost more than half of the third quarter, because you would expect them to really give the ball to Glory Johnson now there to attack their space. So that makes me to highlight the replace of Temi Fagbenda by Green, because she has been doing an excellent job for GB to give Temi Fagbenda these minutes on the bench while she has been in the foul troubles. And I think this is the element Montenegro is supposed to use in this end of the third quarter to get a little bit closer and decrease the margin in the score by Glory Johnson being a little bit more effective offensively. But as you said, defense brings offense, and I think we see a quite high scoring game, and I think we're still gonna keep that question on as we ask in the halftime, who's gonna do something more defensively to bring this game to the winning end.
Well, Great Britain go back to Fagbenda at the start of the fourth. Johnson's in the game and doesn't get the drop, and Great Britain somehow, between them, secure the rebound. Van der Waals back at the point for Great Britain. Green wants, doesn't get. Leadham lines up the three, it's short. Green's on the glass. Leadham follows it in. Green kept it alive. Leadham picks it up, skips to Van der Waals, puts it on the floor, going baseline. The tough lean away two is no good. And Jovic off the Johnson rebound will advance it. Jovic just looks assured. If they're going to go underneath, she will let it go. Steps back for the three, lines it up, knocks it down. It's like, make your decision and take your poison, but that's twice they've gone underneath, and twice she's knocked it down.
Yeah, I think this is the tactical decision from British bench and coach, because it's quite obvious that the girls doesn't want to go and chase her into the screen.
Samuelson leans in, comes off the block. So with 9 seconds on the possession, Great Britain will... I love the way Jovic stays there, because the referee, the referee on in front of us clearly said it was going to be a...
Yeah, you always...
So you've got to wait until you're told it's not your ball.
Yeah, you always want to challenge the official's respectful way, and she did it.
Oh, Benley's back in the game. Has she missed a beat? Has she missed a beat? Benley, 25 personal. She comes straight back in, and it's like, has a game face that just doesn't change. And she gets a piece, doesn't want the foul, and she gets the foul.
And she knows that is a really silly foul.
Smartest decision in her basketball career, shall we say.
Now it's up to Coach Bruschetta to decide if he's going to keep her in the game and trust her, or he's going to give her a couple more minutes on the bench.
Same debate, isn't it? What you say before. It's, you know, if you sit it down and Montenegro are tied up and she comes back and then she picks up another foul, it's a tough one. Jovic, nice look, but Johnson, for all her absolute quality, just doesn't read, she's not on the same page, because there was a layup for her right there. Look, she was the wrong side of Van der Waals. Jovic saw it. Yeah, okay, no point in she seeing it if the other player doesn't. Samuelson has it outside. They go to the baseline slide for Fagbenda, who now goes back. Reverse layup for two. Wow.
And I think this is the reason why Coach Bruschetta kept her on the court at the moment, because she has been unstoppable in this game.
27 points for Temi Fagbenda. Jovic tries to answer with a three, and it's short. Van der Waals will haul in the rebound. Samuelson, awareness, just about sees it, gets it over the half. Van der Waals has it. Leadham puts it on the floor. Now she needs a pass, finds one. Green drops it back to Leadham in the corner. Fagbenda comes high. 3 on the clock, it's going to go up. Leadham leans in, floats one, doesn't get the drop, but Green gets the rebound and gets the putback.
Great offensive.
Staying with the play. It's a 12-point advantage for Great Britain. And Glory Johnson from Montenegro now has got to start going to work on the glass, because she has got to outwork her opponents now if Montenegro are going to get in this. And lead them. If you say it once in a game, you say it 100 times. Just a heads up. Reads the passing lane and they throw it to her. 12-point advantage for Great Britain. Montenegro, there's a timeout. There must be a timeout coming soon if they score this time. Samuelson. Unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, Lara's been holding a jersey. I think I've seen it all the way from here that she has really held the player going into that handoff. This is that offensive effort on the glass from Green again.
And there's the timeout for Montenegro. They're going to take it before the free throws. I don't know what's going on here, because there's a whistle, there's no buzzer, and there's now a timeout. So there'll be a two-shot and possession. So Skerovic is going to take the timeout with 6:55 to go. It'll be a second timeout, but she's now giving Bouchetta the chance to. She's going to score. We're on the sideline. We can run this. So, but she might feel it's such a desperate situation that she needs that timeout. As you see, Great Britain with 20 assists, and that is about sharing the basketball.
Yeah, I think Great Britain really is one of the teams at this tournament where I've seen so far being really selfless in terms of sharing the ball, because most of the offenses we see, unless it's a fast, quick break, we see that most of the players in the court touches the ball before there's even an intention to go and attack the basket. Here we see a leader of landed 27 points, unstoppable in this game, and I think really the Montenegro has really not used it in their advantage when she was on the bench, and they have to play and be offensively way more effective than they've been without her being on the court. This is the hold we've seen, and that's why unsportsmanlike foul for
and that's why the rules were changed and developed to stop that, because it has no part in the game. It's just trying to gain advantage by doing something that's not part of the game.
Yeah, and again, repetition, that's the jersey hold, and again, another unnecessary. I know Mujovic is quick enough to still be and chase Samuelson into that screen. Samuelson
still to miss anything. Oh no, she missed the Lena at the end of the shot clock. This will give her 19 personal. She knocks it down. Great Britain, 6:55 to go, up 14 with possession of the basketball. Leedham will inbound. Van der Waal has it. Montenegro have got to make things happen at this end of the floor. Can only be one shot and out. They can't give anything on the glass. In fact, Benley down the middle, and it's taken away. Tremendous hands by Kovacic. Great effort. Really just would not let it go. Mujovic inside, gets the two.
And again, a great recognition from Mujovic, knowing that Fablanla on a 4 personal foul, so she do go and attack her.
So no damage done for Coach Skelovic with the unsportsmanlike. Leedham wants them to give her some space to play. She's going baseline, off the glass. Whether she was fouled or not, she probably should have made it. Here's Mujovic. While Mujovic is playing like this, Montenegro not out this game. Johanovic behind the back, gets inside, beautiful.
Great individual action, ball handling. Great recognition of opening inside space and attacking it.
10-point game. Van der Waal has it. Needs a pass. Takes a long time for the entry. Green wants, gets, goes to work. Fouled on the play.
I think it will be good for Great Britain to a little bit release that pressure on the bigs of theirs and try to play some action for either Carly Samuelson again or Joe Leedham to run from the inside space to outside space, especially when Samuelson is shooting the percentage she does, and it's 75%. So you want to give her more opportunities to be effective offensively to give the bigs a little bit break.
Green on the free throw line is short. Spent a long time winding it up on the free throw line. So important for Great Britain to tick the scoreboard over. Montenegro will be looking for momentum right now. Second one is good. Substitution. Chantal Handy will come back. In fact, Benley's going to get a blow. Michela still hasn't used the timeout. He still has 3. Montenegro have the 1, which is a factor. Possession arrow favors Great Britain. Jovic, who is just growing on me as a player. She's just doing it all. Turnover included. Jo Leadham in the break. She has 4 on 3 here. Just find the open player. Gets it back. Van der Waal backs out. 12 on the possession. You're quite right, Trees. It would be good to see. It would be really good. There's a Van der Waal.
That's exactly.
They all spread the floor and no one held them. Van der Waal finished the play. And Van der Waal's having her game in the tournament. She goes to 14 personal with the 3 throw to come.
And again, it comes to the team effort, because that communication we witnessed on the court, calling Green out of the paint, because the whole team recognized when Van der Waal had Kovacevic guarding her, and there was no way that she could stop her into that penetration unless some other her teammate's going to be on the split line and help.
Van der Waal completes the 3-point play, and Great Britain have a 14-point advantage with 5 to go. Montenegro, they're not in desperate straits yet, but they're pretty close to it. Alexic, they need to keep it ticking over themselves. She takes it on herself for the 3 and doesn't get it to drop, but Johnson's quick, going baseline, in traffic, has to throw it out. Penetration by Passage for 2, gets the drop straight down the gut of the defense, and they do tick it over. Handy relieves the pressure and hands it off. Van der Waal lines it up. Samuelson for 3. Oh! Nails the 3 from deep. 22 points personal, a phenomenal percentage.
I think right now, unfortunately for Montenegro, they have screened their 2 their own players together.
Ivanovic tries to get it going, but it's so long since she's had a look. Van der Waal with a chance to really put some space between Great Britain and Montenegro right now. Samuelson will go to Handy, and she reverses it. They get Samuelson underneath, going up in traffic, draws contact, takes one to the mouth and to the nose. That's a hard foul. That's a very hard foul in the face.
Again, another great offense from Great Britain, seeing that movement happening on the weak side and coming off the screen. Great recognition.
Samuelson makes the free throw, 16-point margin. Still plenty of time left for Montenegro. Samuelson goes 2 for 2. Jovic will get it into the half court. Jovanovic looks underneath. Johnson needs and gets. She goes inside, outside. They go with a 3. That's a tough 3. Johnson's 2 feet from the bucket, guarded by Joanna Leadham from Great Britain. Got to make a move, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Has to score. And then the bonus would be if Leadham tries to, contest it, she might go to the free throw line. Tick the scoreboard over. 3 minutes is a long time.
Yeah, and you want to collect the fouls, team fouls, let's say, to give you this opportunity to force the other team into foul trouble as a team to send you on the free throw line. So if they're not going to be using this advantage point-wise, at least collect the fouls.
Leadham will inbound. In fact, Benley's in the post. Van der Waal just shows her where she wants it. Samuelson puts it on the floor. Takes some contact, doesn't get the drop. Johanovic comes down with a rebound. Sorry, Passage comes down with a rebound. And Jovic. Passage again goes to the hoop. Ball's knocked, and there was going to be a foul call, but I think because Great Britain stole it, No whistle.
Yeah, I think right now it's in the minds of Montenegro players that they've been down so many points and
Little pass from Green to Benley down the middle. And the bigs combined for Great Britain.
Yeah, I think, just to finish the thought, I think Montenegro now has in their heads that they're down by 17 points and only 2 minutes ticking. I think they have now made the decisions, either if you're talking offensively or defensively, something was not really typical for them to force the layup when there is a full-studded defense of GB. That's not what we see too often from this team.
Well, Majovic is fouled out, which is huge for them in terms of ways back in the game. 2:38 to remain. Timeout. Montenegro will take their last timeout, the last throw of the dice. It's a 19-point game in 2:38. Great Britain will probably be believing they've got 1 foot on a plane. But you know that Coach Brusetta will not be telling them that in this timeout. He'll be saying there's 2:38 to go. In the same way that Coach Skarovic will be saying, right, we will come down, we will do this, we will get something quick. Obviously important for Great Britain to take care of the basketball.
Absolutely, because we can expect from Montenegro now to really probably play a full court, at least to try to slow down the British offense or try to force them to some turnovers, so they would have an opportunity to get them score easy points. Because right now, if Montenegro is going to play against the set GB defense, compact GB defense, I think I don't see any much time left for them to decrease this almost 20 points margin in the score.
Well, Vanderbilt with 15, Leadham with 13, 29 for Benley, 24 for Samuelson. They're the 4 players in double digits. Montenegro have the 4 players in double digits, but it's 10, 16, 12, and 12. Johnson only has 12 points, and I think that number, more than any other number, has been the undoing of this Montenegrin. Because Johnson's got to contribute more, averaged about 30 points in qualifiers. Jovanovic takes the long 3, can't get it to drop. Green gets the rebound and finds Van der Waal. Leadham outside, looking at options. Benley will reverse. Samuelson off the down screen. Oh, a little head fake to the ring for 2.
Another exceptional performance from Carly Samuelson.
Beautiful play by Samuelson. And Leadham just underlines it with an exclamation mark, still with 90 to 69. And Montenegro, for all their great determination yesterday, I'm not sure if there's a way back right now. Van der Waal has it. Samuelson is fouled and will go to the free throw line.
And I have to go back. Oh yeah, this is the foul. We see quite obvious, but what I was wanting to point is the Leadham against smartness, the IQ in the court. She was waiting for that first comfortable pass, taking the ball in from Montenegro, and they really didn't expect her to stay there and steal this ball, and she didn't rush to shine herself. She was really bringing it back high, wait for her teammates to come back and organize, and that's why Carly Samuelson, we see her back on the free throw line.
Samuelson with a chance to go to 28 personal. I don't think that was ever in doubt from the free throw line, the way she shoots the throw. So 92 to 69. Montenegro came right back into this just before the half. Great Britain really worked hard in the third, and then now just iced it in the fourth. Vucetic, who's had a nice game for Montenegro. Foul on the play. That'll be the second team foul for Great Britain. That's Popovic who drew the contact. And Timmy Benley is going to sit down. with 29 points. And I'll give you the stat line. Oh, you've got it up.
Yeah, so obviously 29 points, shooting 76%, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 32 effectiveness, such contribution. And I would say, especially the first half, when it really mattered to set the tone, I think she has been exceptional.
Lead and fouls. It's Jolie's first foul.
And this is great management of the fouls as a team as well, because it gives you the opportunities to slow down the offense of Montenegro in these last 2 minutes.
Well, Hannah Shaw will pick up her personal foul. Not the way you want to get on the stats sheet, but we talked a lot during the French game, and we talked a lot when we've been covering France about the great development system that develops at FIBA and Johannes and things like that. There must be some people in Great Britain, because this isn't normal for Great Britain to make the quarterfinals. Who, if you're sitting there in Haringey and if you're sitting there in Sevenoaks and places of that type, as the 2 goes in, you're going to be a very, very satisfied coach for the work you've done with Green and Fagbenle, in the same way that the French system generates players.
Yeah, and this GB team really putting a statement on the basketball world that now teams need to start to count with them as one of the nations of basketball.
Vanderbilt can't get it, the tough one to drop, and she's had a super game with 15 points.
And not only that, Mark, she has also had 9 assists, which is very close to double-double, which great individual performance.
Popovic going up. And Montenegro get another look at it. And they take the tough 2 and don't get the drop. Leadham gets another positive stat to go to 13 points. And we're going to walk this one off. And Great Britain will win this one, 92-71. They will be on a plane going to Belgrade. And next Thursday, they will face Hungary in the quarterfinal of EuroBasket Women 2019. The select band of GB fans celebrating. Montenegro recovered after early defeats in this tournament to make it to this game, and got right back in the game at half-time. And a superb second half by Great Britain, and Carly Samuelson and Timmy Fagbenle with 29 and 28 apiece just lit it up inside and out. And Buscetta and his coaching staff celebrate, but this isn't the journey done for Great Britain or for Sweden, who won earlier on. This is a journey that now takes them to Belgrade and the quarterfinals of EuroBasket Women 2019, and a chance to compete with the best. Hats off to Montenegro, as we said. In terms of their preparation, it wasn't ideal. And Coach Skerovic, in her first national team tournament, has taken her team to a knockout game. So you know she'll be around for a long time as a national team coach. But this is all about a win for Great Britain. And these are the statistics: 69%. A lot of that down to Fagbenle on the inside. They got their three-point shooting up to 35. Rebound-wise, they were dominant. Assists, 23 assists, you gotta love that. And they took 13 turnovers. Now we talked about the defense, the pace of the game being a little slow and stuff. Both teams took great care of the ball in a pressure game. Fagbenle led with 29. Leadham always finds a way to get into these categories. Van der Waal was phenomenal with 9 assists, as well as her 15 points. Buscetta, as we said, even though the turnovers numbers looking there, and Mujovic really did drag Montenegro back into contention. But Great Britain have scoring across the board. that's what this game of basketball is all about. Moments like that for players and families.
Yeah, I have to congratulate GB to go and really advance to quarterfinals, because this has been another selfless team performance with 2 players scoring almost 30 points, another 2 players on the almost 15 points. I think the assist says it all, 23 assists. Every single player who has been on the court has contributed a certain way and positive way, let's say. There hasn't been too many mistakes in this game. As you mentioned, the number of the turnovers displaced on both sides, but I think Montenegro right now, you know, you can't win the game when you allow the opposition to score 92 points, and I don't think Montenegro has found a way how to stop Tane Takbanla in both halves, and Carly Samientu especially in the second half. And you know, then supported by Rachel Van der Boer, almost double-double with those 9 assists and 15 points. But as well, John Leadham almost triple-double, because she has had 8 rebounds, 7 assists and 13 points. I think it's really hard, and I think GB has saved one of the best performances into this game against Montenegro.
Well, they're the pictures at the end of Great Britain celebrating. There's Montenegro, and Skerovic makes her way out. And that's what it means. This is not the end of a journey for either Great Britain or Sweden. They're going to get on a plane and want to go through the quarterfinals. Vujovic was one of my favorite players here. Marvelous performance by her. But all you can say about this was that Great Britain as a team was just phenomenal. Shared the ball beautifully, 23 assists, marvelous number. And if you're Hungary or if you're Serbia playing today's winners, you are not going to be relishing the fact.
Thank you so much, Mark.
And Coach Brusetta just enjoyed himself with us.
Getting some intro into microphones.
And pictures that Great Britain will want to build on, because as I just said, they will not want to stop in a quarterfinal against Hungary.
2019篮球世界杯就在中国，腾讯体育点燃中国主场。Brauc brīvdienas? Nesteidzies. Pludmale pagaidies. Jo piestāvie mums ir gadi nobraucieni.
Sometimes you don't have to talk over pictures because they tell you everything you need to know. And that's what it means for fans.
Helio piedāvā.
For the first time, Great Britain make the quarterfinals of a EuroBasket women. Well, that's it from the arena here in Riga. They're the results of today's game. Watch the 2 qualifications and quarterfinal games tomorrow from Belgrade. Join Jeff Taylor and Shona Thorburn there. It's been a privilege to be here in Riga. Great hosts, great locations, and it's been an absolute pleasure as always with Teresa Brantlova. And now it'll be for one final time, goodbye from Riga.
Jauns ceļš, jauns Toyota Camry Hybrid. Lai arī ko mēs darītu, mums ir nepieciešams ūdens. Izvēlies dabīgo minerālu ūdeni. Mangaļa, minerāls sāļi